Welcome to ABC Bullion's 360 Weekly Wrap. My name's Bron Sachecki and I'm joined today by Nick Frappel, Global General Manager at ABC Bullion. Welcome, Nick.
Morning, Bron.
Nick, we saw gold come down to the target that you sort of mentioned for support.
Yes.
It sort of had a little bit of a bounce up that. I mean, where do you see it for this week?
I'm looking for the gold to rally back up to about 1708, 1710, which is consistent with some of the support and resistance we saw recently.
Yep.
I've got a slightly negative short-term outlook because if you look at what was happening at the end of last week with the numbers and so on, there were basically bonds, gold, and the US dollar all weakened, and that to me suggests that the equities and commodity currencies are coming back into favour. It's more of a risk-on play.
Right, and that obviously related to the sort of favourable US unemployment, although I should say relatively favourable because it's still a pretty high number.
Yeah, yes, exactly. No, that's right. I mean, we had a tremendous kind of unexpected bounce in the numbers. However, there's still about, I think, 21 million unemployed in total. And I think something we were discussing earlier on was that there's actually some issues around the quality of those numbers. I mean, the BLS obviously wants those numbers to be absolutely perfect, but there are some concerns about people misclassifying themselves and actually overstating the number of people in work.
Yeah, and obviously we saw in Australia the same situation where the bureaucrats weren't exactly aware how many people were or weren't on JobKeeper.
Yes.
What about the situation in Australia? I saw a report earlier the weekend saying that about 1.4 million mortgage holders are in mortgage stress.
Yes.
Similar optimism in Australia. I mean, the US seems like the markets, you say, moving risk on, but for
Yes.
Australia?
I think at the moment everyone's sort of looking at looking at America for a lead in that sense, and that's where a lot of the optimism is coming from. But yeah, I'd have to be pretty concerned for not just Australia, but for other countries as well. This isn't going to go away. There'll be sort of second order effects. And if you look at Australia, we've had an 11% year-on-year decline in trade with China, which is really, really important.
Yeah, yeah. So the Aussie dollar then still, you're saying it's levitated too high and probably...
Well, it's gone to the weekly cloud top resistance and it's paused there. Last week I said, if it gets through there, then look at 0.7135 as the next big number. But it's paused at the cloud top, and for all of those reasons, despite the optimism on Friday, I think this is a level where you should expect it to fade. Right,
and so good for local prices then, if we're going to see it come back, those low 2400s for gold.
It'll definitely help. It'll definitely help. There's certainly cause for optimism, especially if you're patient and watch what the US gold is doing at the same time.
Yeah, okay, thanks Nick. Stay in touch with the markets by following us on our social channels as well as at abcbullion.com. Until next time, thank you.
Thank you.